There we go. Hi, everybody. How are you doing this morning? So put a message in the chat to let me know you're here. I just want to get an idea of who is watching and who's showed up. This morning, I wanted to talk about my new group program, Own Your Own Energy, and answer any questions you might have. So, we're going to give people a little more time to pop in before I get started. So, Own Your Own Energy is really a program that I have been developing over a long period of time. It uses all the same tools and all the same principles that I use with my private clients and have used with my private clients for a really long time. And what's really interesting as I reflected in creating this program is that I have really been working with transitions for most of my life. When I was in college, my thesis was actually on how economies move from a communist system into a free market system. I lived in Russia, I lived in Croatia, and Serbia. So I had a bit of experience with these different places and kind of how you move from one system or one way to another way. And and then, so in my work that do with coaching, a great deal of what I do is helping people move from one way of thinking, one way of being, one way of doing to a new way of thinking, being, and doing. So it's a transition just in a different format. And surprisingly, the same tools and skill sets apply. So that's super fun for me and super interesting for me to watch in different views and different ways. And now we find ourselves in this really big transition, right? That everybody is in some kind of transition. Um, and most people are in pretty big transitions. So it's a really important time to cultivate the skills necessary to through um, move through this transition. So I just got a comment in the group that asked if the program is just for career people or for people who are retired. And as I've worked with private clients, it's really surprising or maybe not really surprising. I actually have a lot of clients who are retired because they now have the time and space and freedom to explore different ideas and different ways of being and different ways of thinking and maybe parts of their life that they weren't able to explore as a career individual. So, yeah, the program is really open to everybody who wants to cultivate these skills. And if you think about it, moving from a person with a thriving career into retirement is one of the biggest life transitions that we have. And lots of people struggle with it. Like it's a hard transition how you redefine yourself and think about your value and your worth, which even people who are not moving in retirement, maybe you're finding a new job, maybe you're in a new relationship, maybe you're changing careers, and you're really bringing into question all those things about your value, your worth, your framework, what's important and what's valuable. And we need all of that as we learn to own our own energy. And that's really what the program is about. Like, how do you really come into this place of knowing your energetic system, not just your physical system, but your energetic system, as well as your physical system and your environment, and really thinking about what your energetic system needs to thrive, and what your heart needs to thrive. So it's a different way of working and being, and it's definitely learning new skills, right? Most of us really have a deeper understanding of how to work with the physical body, and then maybe some understanding of how to work with the mind and emotions. But most of us don't have a great deal of training on how to support our energetic system. And in the world that we live in, the energetic system is really where a lot of our unconscious patterns come from, right? So, what lies in the subconscious, what lies in the unconscious drives those patterns and things that we can't change. So, when you think about learning how to own your own energy, a lot of that is really about resolving those issues that are in the subconscious and unconscious layers of your beingness. And so we do that through breath work, we do that through reflection. It's something I'm very skillful at with my clients and really sitting with them and teaching them tools on how to stay present with their selves so that they can begin to see where those patterns are coming from, where the blocks in their life are coming from, so that we can then clear them out and reprogram them. And so that's really the first phase of the program. So month in the way that I have the program laid out for this first session, which is in the fall, it starts August 15th. Um, it is really set up into 3 months. So, month one is really about tapping into meditation and breath work as tools for clearing and reflection. We'll really look at what's going right, what isn't going right, kind of some places to pivot and change. And then in month two, we'll dive deeper into connection and really, as we clear out those blocks, that we will then be able to open up and receive more fully. So we will take time in that second phase to really connect more and listen more to our intuition and really feel and understand where that guidance comes in, how that guidance comes in, and how we can utilize it. And for each person, it's different. So it's really a personal exploration that's guided. And the group is very helpful with that. So, and then in phase three, we really step into that place of receiving. And we'll be doing an ancestral healing circle, actually several, so you get an idea of how they work so that you can tap into the more unseen parts of your skill set and communication abilities. And so that part is really fun and very powerful. So that is really how the fall program is set up and how the spring program is set up. So each of those programs are structured very similarly, even though the energy of the fall is really more about seeing, like, harvesting what your successes are and clearing out the things that aren't working to prepare for the winter and the year to come. And then the spring is really about nourishing the energy of newness, nourishing your intentions, weeding out the things that aren't supporting your intentions and where you want to go. So similar, just a little bit different feeling tone to them, if you will. And usually different lessons come up, different aspects of how we operate come up in each of those things. So even though the structure is similar, the content and the feeling tone will be quite different. And then I have a short program in the winter called for setting your intentions for the new year, clearing out and assessing what happened in 2022, and then coming forward into 2023. It's something that people always want to do, so I just decided to put in a set program that's just 1 month long. So that's a great way to think about how the program operates, and it is seasonally. Um, okay, so a question that came up is, will everything be online? And what happened? So yes, everything will be online. So we are in an online format. We have a platform. I use a platform where all the events will be scheduled on the platform, and you can go directly to the platform to access all your tools, all your meditations, as well as the meetings that we have. And I use Hey Marvelous that allows me to set up the different meetings in those different ways. What happens if you're unable to come to the live meetings? So my experience with coaching and with group coaching is that most people do not like to be recorded in the group coaching sessions. So there will be a live group coaching session every 2 weeks, and we'll have an opening circle and a closing circle. So that's 8 group sessions through the 3 months. On those sessions, I mean, it is most valuable for you to attend those sessions live, most because you will get the most out of them, but also because I am not going to record the live group sessions. What I will record are the rituals and the meditations and some of the other practices that we do that aren't like super live interactive sharing. And that's really to set the tone for the group and the setting. But like I said, you'll have a lot of other tools that don't require you to show up live, and you really do on your own. So we're only talking about 8-ish hours over 3 months to show up live to. And if you can't make them and you want to recap, I will do that via email. So that's kind of how we'll work with that. I'm also going to set up a group chat. So it'll either be on Telegraph or WhatsApp, probably WhatsApp, so that we have a little more international interaction. That's easier. But those platforms, I'm able to send you images as well as recordings of meditations and what have you on a pretty um, in a very easy way. And then you can share inspiration or challenges with the group in a very kind of ad hoc format. So it's a really nice interactive way to work. So there's another question in the group: if this is a program that's appropriate if I have a hard time with change. Yes. Most of us have a lot of change. And most of us are having a hard time with a lot of change. So I would say that you are not alone, and that the program is really designed to help support you through change and give you tools to facilitate change much easier. Again, I am really an expert in working with and through transitions. So it is really a great time to support that process. And we're all in it, right? So you're totally not alone. The next question was about specific, when are the sessions and how many hours for each session? So the group coaching sessions, I imagine to be about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And I have tentative days and a tentative schedule set out, but when the group comes together, I usually do a poll to figure out the days and times that are most appropriate. And I will make the group coaching sessions at times that everybody can make it. And usually that does work out. Like usually I can find a time that is conducive that we can meet, and that works out. So hopefully that is helpful. What are some of the other questions I've gotten? One of them is, how does this work if I'm already a private client? So if you already do private sessions with me, or you want to do private sessions with me, I envision this program dovetailing really well into all of the other tools that you already have, so that anything is coming up in the group or anything is coming up in the program, you can use a one-on-one session to go deeper and really resolve it if you're having a hard time on your own. So you always have support in different formats, which is really fun. So some of the other questions I've gotten are, what if I'm not like super into spirituality? Is this still going to work for me? And my answer is yes. Because I always give really practical tools. And so, I mean, the truth is, like, you have to want to increase your level of awareness, and you have to be more curious about what is blocking you from living the life that you want to live. Does that mean you have to adopt a spiritual practice? No. Doesn't mean that you have to adopt a reflection practice and a practice of stillness. Yes. Are you going to learn more things than you imagined about yourself that maybe you might have put in the spiritual category? Yes. These are all just natural things that happen as people work with me. And it doesn't, I am not tied to a particular dogma. I've studied many different systems of spirituality pretty deeply. And I've been working with it for a really long time. What I know to be true is that you have your own connection to your energy, to your higher self, to your spiritual framework. And that is what's going to be best for you. And my job is to coach you, guide you, facilitating you stepping deeper into that place of relationship with your own energy, with your own self, and with your own light. I am really gifted at creating space that allows you to do that. I am also really gifted at asking you the right questions that allow you to go to that place of curiosity and discover what you might not have seen before. And it is a brilliant process that I love, and my clients love. So I'm excited to be able to offer it to more people. Um, so, some other questions that you might have can is like, what part of the program do I have to join? And really, I've set it up so that you can do any combination that you want. So each of the programs, so I have an Own Your Own Energy program in the fall, Own Your Own Energy program in the winter, and Own Your Own Energy program in the spring. So 3 months in the fall, 1 month in the winter, 3 months in the spring. And then you have the option to join for the whole year, which is at a discounted rate, and you get extra bonuses and discounts with that year long membership, or mentorship, rather. And so you get the whole arc of the journey. So you can do one program, you can do two programs, you can do all three programs, whatever works for you and whatever the timing works for you. I set it up this way because I find in my journey that it is really, really nice to dive in and do some work and like get some insights, get some new tools, and then have some time on my own to play and practice and see how that works. And then dive in again and do a little more work and then play and practice on my own. And then again, dive in, play and practice with a group, see what else happens. And then so that experimenting and that in a group with really strong guidance and support, and then on my own to see like where I fly and where I don't fly, and then in again. Um, I find that a really supportive pattern and framework to grow. So that you're not always in a group, not always tied to doing something, but you have support, you have tools that and a group that you can come back to. So that's really fun, and hopefully really supports you and your growth and your trajectory. Um, Maybe you want to know some of the things that like you're really going to be able to take away from this program. Like, what can I say for sure is going to happen? And number one is I know that you're going to develop a meditation practice and a breath work practice. So these are two primary tools that you will use throughout the program and that I will coach you with throughout the program. Um, Two, you're gonna get an idea of how ritual and ceremony can enrich your life. And so that is really fun. Three, you're gonna have a lot of fun. You're gonna be inspired. You're gonna find more joy. You're gonna find community that you can connect with and really are on this path of inspiration and creating a life that is win win, that is giving you more freedom, more light, more energy, more vibrancy. You're going to learn at least one or two ways that you can cut more chaos out of your life. So there's a lot of distraction in the world right now, and lots of people have a hard time figuring out how to let go of that distraction and really focus on what they need to thrive in the world. And so I can guarantee you that in this program, you're going to find at least one or two ways to cut chaos out, if not way more. And parallel to that, you're going to find one or two ways that you can thrive more in your life. So that is amazing and super fun. Most people, when they go through a program with me, find more confidence, more clarity, more ease, a sense of um, stability, and stability in the sense of settling and softening. And so, in the current environment that we're in, that is just such a gift to have that ease and that confidence. Um, so those are just some of the things. If you have more questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, and I will probably pop on and do another live this week to answer more questions. So hopefully this is helpful. I'll stay up for just a minute or two longer to see if there are any more questions that people have. But I'm really excited. The fall program starts next week. So you have one more week to sign up. I know, oh, that another question was about the size of the group. So the cohorts are going to be very small. I imagine that there'll be about 6 to 10 people, but no more than 10 people for sure. My goal is to keep the group small so that you have the opportunity to ask questions and that everybody can get group coaching sessions in the time that we're together. This is not a program that's like 50 people on a group coaching call. That is not what I do. So it is definitely a small group program. You are definitely going to get individual attention and individual coaching. Um, Okay, I think that's enough for today. So I will see you later in the week to answer more questions. Please feel free to reach out to me in the meantime, and I look forward to talking with you soon.